Good evening, folks. Alicia, hello. Dave, happy. Is it Canada Day too today? I didn't know that we had the same day celebration. I didn't think so, but belated. There you go. Oh, Dave, Julie, hello, Christina. Oh, thank you for being here, you guys. um, I just had a fan die on me, and I was like, oh no, I depend on every fan in this house to carry the coolness through. So it's 86 degrees and very humid, so it's not a good day for a fan to die, right? But hey, Independence Day. Okay, so do I need to be independent from one more fan? Maybe for a day. Tomorrow I'll see if I can find one. Oh, so anyway, good evening to you guys. Oh, July 1st is Canada Day. Okay, good. So good. Hey, Patty, hello. Yes, happy Independence Day to everyone from the United States, anyway. But and a happy Monday to everyone outside the United States. Tell me what's going on in your lives. How's your week been? What have you done to celebrate today? To be glad to hear that Mondays are for jumps. Oh no, Mondays are not for the faint of heart, is I think what we should say, right? Ward, hello. Tony, hey, going to watch the fireworks? Wonderful. Oh, thanks for stopping in. You must be on the East Coast because here it's still bright midday daylight here. Kiri, hello. Patty from Southern Blessed Homestead. Good evening to you. I can bet I will fail you trivia this one time. Unfortunately, I have a feeling Dave is going to know a lot of these answers just because so many of them take place up in his neck of the woods, and he knows so much of that stuff anyway. So you're going to eat first. Oh, that sounds good. Hey, Lori. Yes, very sad day for Highland Park. It's like, yeah, we'll just pray for those people. Oh my goodness. You're flying solo here again this year, so glad you're on live channel. Oh, thanks. You are not a dork. Probably more nerd, not dork, but hey, I can deal with either one as long as you're honest, right? That's so good. Hey, Michigan Daffodil. Hello from the air-conditioned camper. Oh, that's wonderful. You went to a funeral on Saturday? So did I. It was my dad's funeral on Saturday. And yesterday I was so completely exhausted that I just, I stayed home and I would take a nap, watch a video, take a nap, watch a video, watch a little TV, take a nap, just off and on. And then I slept till 9 o'clock this morning. So it's just a couple days of recuperating that I needed to do, and because it was a long couple of days down there. So, so Patty, your house is noisy because of grandsons playing. Oh, very nice. So, Ward, you're in Alaska. So cool. No pun intended, but it is a neat place. Yes, I need to reset. Absolutely. And feeling feeling a little better today. I think it's just going to take a while because we've had so much. But it was, and we still have his burial this Saturday, so we still have one more milestone, I guess you could say, for him. And then we still have memorials for my sister-in-law. So by the end of August, we'll be through everything. So be able to really move on after that, because we have to do, clear out his estate, take care of all the things and stuff. So it's going to be challenging, but the funeral and everything, that's probably the hardest part. So thank you, Lori. Thanks, Patty, for the hugs. I appreciate that. Deacon died totally unexpected. Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tony. Um, this certainly has been Patty. Thanks, Alicia. Thank you, Michigan Daffodil. So yeah, it's but today is a day of celebration, right? And celebrate our independence. So yeah, we've just had we're kind of in a typical southern summer weather pattern here, where it's hot and humid, and we get little spotty rainstorms come in, and or thunderstorms, hail, tornadoes. Not quite a little rainstorm, but they'll come in later in the afternoon or evening or something, and drop some rain, keep it humid, keep it hot. So that's going to be kind of what this week is. But okay, Tony, thanks for stopping in. You be blessed too. Hey, Katie. Oh, that's awesome. I actually got out last week. It took me about 4 days. I got in my garden and I cleared out all of my beds. Yes, it took me 4 days to clear them out. I mean, I didn't have like 4 solid days in there. Some days it was, an hour or two, but yeah, so I got all the weeds out of all my beds. They're all ready to plant. And I was kind of hoping to get out there and do that today, but you know, one more day is not going to make a difference. So tomorrow, that will be my plan of attack, is to get out there and plant. And what I'm going to do is, a few weeks ago, I bought some tomato starts and I bought some pepper starts, plants and everything. So those have already been growing. I just have to get them in. And everything else from seed, I'm just going to make sure that they're going to be able to grow and finish by the time first frost comes. So it'll be beans and peas and carrots, and I got all my onion starts yet to put in, and they're just like wild right now. So I have to get those in. I picked a whole bunch of strawberries this weekend, or I should say was it Thursday night or Friday morning, and there's a lot of herbs ready to be harvested. So things have been growing, but I did clear out my beds and they look so good and it feels so good. It really, really, really does. Thanks, Carrie. Yeah, it is exhausting. I know I got out my garden. I know our summer days can be really crazy. We haven't had the extended heat that we did last summer, or the drought, which has been wonderful. It's really, really good. So it feels more like a normal summer for us right now. And so you spent lots of time this weekend in the garden too. Good for you. Blueberries and raspberries. Oh, wonderful. Yes, Kyria does take time to recover, and that's why I'm just going to put those few things in. I think I got 12 tomato plants. They're all beef steaks, so it'll produce pretty well. And when I get 3 or 4 pepper plants, just enough just to eat fresh and everything at this point. And yeah, I'll just, spread things out, maybe not plant quite as closely as I have before out of my beds, but we'll see. We'll see when I get my packs of seeds out there and what can grow and what won't. I still can get some basil going and stuff. But so last week someone stole your cucumbers? What? Could it be rabbits that are pulling them up, or you're talking the 2-legged animals? Maybe the goats? Would they eat cucumber plants? I don't know. You watered well last week. Twice. Been gone since Thursday. Expecting rain tonight. Oh, haven't had rain for 2 weeks. That is so weird that all the rain, I mean, we've just had if you've been looking at the maps and all the radar, it's just huge systems coming through our state. I would think that something would show up on yours. But yes, God is good. Yes. You transplanted prickly pear plants. You having to water them. Okay. So, so yes, I am getting ready for that. And we've had a number of storms come through. Just branches down, that type of thing. But we're getting it going. Once you move to your new home in 11 days, 11 days. Oh, Christina, how exciting. You'll begin to energize the soil and verify the watering tape is set up and operating. Oh, I'm so happy for you. That is going to be so wonderful. Oh, it's going to the UP. Okay. Well, they've got a lot of stuff up there, don't they? So, okay. You're welcome, Christina. So I have quite a bit of little trivia here. So we're just going to go ahead and get started since have the usual crew here, I guess. You guys are just so great. And I want to thank all of my moderators. Thank you, guys. Did I lose Julie again? She's like, yeah, and then gone. So we'll begin with our trivia. So for those of you living outside of our country, July 4th marked our Day of Independence for our country from Britain. And so anyway, so you guys will learn something. There were a few things that I learned here too. So, okay. Where was the first celebration of Independence Day held? So the very first celebration was held in what city? Christine, I know it's like you just want it to be over with, and it's like help me to just skip the work just to get into the back end, right? Okay, first celebration of Independence Day was held. Yep, there you go. Michigan Daffodil and Dave got it. I'm going to switch to live chat so I can see who gets it first. Yep, you guys got it. All right. So every Independence Day, how many times does the Liberty Bell ring? They'll ring it so many times, but how many times do they ring the Liberty Bell on the 4th of July? You guys are so good. I know some of these things is like, okay, I didn't even know that they rang the Liberty Bell, first of all. But Alicia, that's a good guess. But again, Oak Knob Farm and Michigan Daffodil. Yep, for the 13 colonies, because that's how many colonies we had at the time of our independence. So every July 4th, get this, descendants of the signers of the Declaration of Independence tap the Liberty Bell 13 times in honor of the original 13 colonies. You're just guessing. Well, you're on a roll. You're guessing very well. Okay. What was the name of the newspaper that published the Declaration of Independence? I would not even be able to guess this one, but what paper published the Declaration? Not a clue. Okay. No, go for it, Alicia. It's fun. Throwing in different guesses, be like, it's not just for Americans here, or United States, USA Americans. So Freedom Press. It was the Pennsylvania Evening Post. So the Colony Crier. I like that one. That's good. Boston Herald. That's a really good. That's a good guess too. Boston Herald. So it was the Pennsylvania Evening Post. So Dave, file that one away in your little drawers there in your brain. So there you go. The Franklin Gazette. Oh, I like that one. You know what? I don't know the Pennsylvania Evening Post. Let me see. Did Ben Franklin work at the Pennsylvania Evening Post? Okay, that was a Saturday Evening Post. Let me see. Talking about the Pennsylvania Gazette and the Saturday Evening Post, but they don't say anything about the Pennsylvania Evening Post. So I cannot say about that one. He was a printer in Philly, yes. Oh, thanks, Alicia. That's so great. Okay. The fourth, this one almost everybody should know, but anyway, the 4th of July commemorates which document? Which document? It is not it doesn't have anything to do with Disneyland either. So very good, Michigan Daffodil. You got it first. See, you beat out Dave because you didn't spell out declaration, right? Yep, the Declaration of Independence. So we've got yep, the Declaration of Independence. So the unanimous declaration. And I'm just going to read a little bit so you can tell how it kind of, the tone of it that came out. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as they shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that. It goes on. So that was what they wrote way back then. Oh, Curie, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that paper is not doing it. So, oh, Michigan Daffodil, I just like, as I'm reading it, you're doing that. That's so great. I know, it is beautiful, Alicia. It really is. Okay. What is the proper way to fold the American flag? Yep, thumbs up, you all, that's for sure. Proper way to fold the American flag. And then, does anybody know which American president? You got it. Alicia, look at you. The triangle. You were first there. Excellent. You learned it in Scouts. Yep. I did too. Well, probably from my dad first, because my dad and two of my brothers were Eagle Scouts. And, I was a Girl Scout too, but they were kind of in Scouts before me. So I learned all of that. And yeah, it was so great. Yep, Scouts. So which American president was born on July 4th? Now we're getting into some tough one. And hey, if there's anybody on their computer that wants to Google this stuff, go for it. I don't mind. I'm not trying to keep you from doing that. If you want to Google this information, that's great. Your brother's an eagle too. That's great. Yeah, we had at my dad's wake, the visitation part, we had a lot of memorabilia out from all the different organizations that Dad was part of, and so he had like pins and badges and like honor things. They're the kind of the pinned with the little vertical banner that with an eagle at the bottom, that type of thing, from the Boy Scouts. So it was kind of cool in there. So there's a few of them. Oh, that's so cool, Alicia. I watched the Waltons today. It was a good one too. Okay, Calvin Coolidge in 1872 was born on July 4th, and he was our 30th president. So now, which president of the United States was the first to host a 4th of July celebration at the White House? So first 3 or 4 presidents. So we had Washington, Adams, right? So, or I should go George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and James Monroe. So which of these were the first one? Yep, Jefferson. Very good. Jefferson. He was the 3rd president, and he was the first one to host the celebration at the White House. And he was in office from 1801 to 1809. So there we go. So how many stars and stripes does the U.S. flag have? Every American should know this, and every United States American. You should get them all right. 2 presidents died on July 4th the same year. Yes, and that's one of our things that will come. So, Kier, you're already ahead. That was one of my questions here. 50 stars, 13 stripes. Absolutely. Did I say that right? 50, or did I go backwards? 50 stars, 13 stripes. I don't know if I said that right or not. Too much sleep. Okay. So the Stars and Stripes were there for the first 4th of July. On June 14th, 1777. So it was like the first annual Independence Day. So it would have been 1777. Less than a month before the first Independence Day celebration, the Continental Congress passed a resolution creating America's first official flag. And they said, resolved that the flag of the 13 United States shall be 13 stripes, alternate red and white, that the Union be 13 stars, white on a blue field, representing a new constellation. Pretty cool, huh? So, okay, what is the location of the nation's oldest 4th of July parade? And they still do this. It was established in 1785. So it started like just about 10 years after, 9 years actually, after the start of our country. I love your little girl. Michigan Daffodil was like, I don't know. No, it wasn't in Philadelphia. Any more guesses? It was in the location of the nation's oldest 4th of July parade. It was in Bristol, Rhode Island. See, I didn't even know there was a Bristol, Rhode Island. I know there's a Bristol, Connecticut. Is it Bristol? Yeah, I know there's Bristol, Connecticut. I didn't know there was one in Rhode Island too. But that was the city of the oldest parade, and they still continue to have that. All right. What was the total number of people who signed the Declaration of Independence? Do you know? I know Michigan Daffodil. So these are a lot of things that I've just been learning here. So total number of people who signed it. Anybody know? Yes, you should know this one, Dave. All right. Oh, you got half of that right. Michigan Daffodil. 56. 56 men signed the Declaration of Independence. All right. Every 4th of July, what food is most commonly consumed? So throwing some silly ones in here in the middle of some like really serious history. So what food is most commonly consumed? Let's see what you have. There you go, Patty. She got it. Hot dogs. Yes. Americans typically eat, get this, 150 million hot dogs on Independence Day. In one day, 150 million hot dogs. Enough hot dogs to stretch from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles more than 5 times. So, all the way across 5 times, 150 million. I know I had pulled pork today, so I did not do the hot dogs. Oh, I guess I can't get it. A former stepmom moved from the country to a big town on July 3rd, was shocked the next morning to discover. Oh, no. Oh, well, I guess she's going to have a front row seat right there, huh? Hot diggity dog. That's cute. That's cute. So anyway, there's actually a National Hot Dog and Sausage Council. Did you know that? So that's where the statistics come from. Oh, it was crazy. Okay, again, every American should know this. What is the name of the national anthem of the United States of America? What is the name of our national anthem? When I was a kid, your dad bought you a corn dog. Well, so you got the corn and the dog at the same time. There you go. There we go. There we go. Hey, Miss T. Hello. You guys are rocking it. Okay, who gave the Statue of Liberty to the United States? We did not build it, and we did not come from our country. So who did give that to us? Lady Liberty. Look at you guys. On the ball there, Christina and Patty, Miss T, Dave, you guys knew it. France. Yes, France gave us the Statue of Liberty. Do you know what her official name was? It wasn't, the official name is not the Statue of Liberty. It was something else, which I didn't know either. So, you guys, I learned a lot by going through this. Her official name, Statue of Freedom. No, that would be a good one, though. It is Liberty Enlightening the World. That's a mouthful. So Statue of Liberty definitely is a little easier. So Liberty Enlightening the World was her official name. Okay, where's the Liberty Bell currently located? I should try it in French. Oh, so where is the Liberty Bell current. I'm doing a French Scandinavian. Is the liberty enlightening the world in Philly, but not sure where. Independence Hall. Um, they just said Philadelphia. Probably, you're probably right, Dave. I think it's there. Um, okay. On the Declaration of Independence, who had the largest signature? There's a replica here in Portland. Oh, what is it, like a smaller version of it or something? Oh, or just that it's in Portland as liberty and freedom. Yeah, I kind of get it. There you go. You guys are on the ball. Christina, Miss T, there you go. Dave and Patty. Alicia, yeah, Dave or John, Dave Hancock. John Hancock was the largest signature. And I think that's why we all say, well, put your John Hancock here because his was the most prominent. And I was like, some of them you can't even read. So it makes me wonder, is like, were they really afraid to have their names like really recognized? I'm gonna write it really little. I'll sign this and be there. Oh, it's the same size. So true, Ms. T. So true. Absolutely. Okay. So Curie brought this up before. Which two presidents of the United States died on July 4th of the same year? So two presidents died at the same time. One was former president, one was a current, or I think they were, no, they were both former presidents. Sorry, they weren't a current one, but yep. So you sign your John Hancock. Absolutely. So two died the same year on the same day, which is pretty unusual. So it happened to be on July 4th, 1826. Former presidents. There you go, Curie. You got it. Former presidents Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, who were once fellow patriots and then adversaries, died on the same day within 5 hours of each other. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams were the last surviving members of the original American revolutionaries who had stood up to the British Empire and forged a new political system in the former colonies. However, while they both believed in democracy and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, their opinions on how to achieve these ideals diverged over time. Adams preceded Jefferson as president. He was 1797 to 1800. And it was during this time that their ideas about policymaking became as distinct as their personalities. The irascible and hot-tempered Adams was a firm believer in a strong, centralized government, while the genteel Jefferson believed federal government should take a more hands-off approach and defer to individual states' rights. As Adams' vice president, Jefferson was so horrified by what he considered to be Adams' abuse of the presidency, particularly his passage of the restrictive Alien and Sedition Acts of 1798, that he abandoned Adams and Washington for his estate at Monticello. There, he plotted how to bring his Republican faction back into power in the presidential election of 1800. Is history repeating itself or something? I mean, it's just like, yep, Alicia, yep. I was going to be getting there. So, after an exceptionally bitter campaign in which both parties engaged in slanderous attacks on each other in print, Jefferson emerged victorious. It appeared the former friends would be eternal enemies. After serving 2 presidential terms, Jefferson and Adams each expressed to third parties their respect for the other and their desire to renew their friendship. Adams was the first to break the silence. he sent Jefferson a letter dated January 1st, 1812, in which he wished Jefferson many happy New Years to come. Jefferson responded with a note in which he fondly recalled when they were fellow laborers in the same cause. The former revolutionaries went on to resume their friendship over 14 years of correspondence during their golden years. On July 4th, 1826, at the age of 90, Adams lay on his deathbed while the country celebrated Independence Day. His last words were, "Thomas Jefferson still survives." He was mistaken. Jefferson had died 5 hours earlier at Monticello at the age of 83. So, kind of a little history there. Yeah. So, why was the Boston Tea Party's tea shipment ruined? You're going back a few years. So, why was the tea shipment ruined? Oh, that's cool, Carrie. They tossed it in the ocean, but why did they do that? Why did they toss it in the bay, in the ocean? There you go, Miss T. Yep. About taxers. There you go. Yep, to protest against all that, against the British taxes. Absolutely. Does anybody have any idea what the estimated population of the United States was on July 4th, 1776? I think we're, what did they say, about 7? No, we're at what, 350 million, 300 million right now? So anybody have an idea what it would have been in 1776? Yeah, just in the United States. It was 2.5 million people. Yep. So now this is like a totally, there you go. Patty, you must have looked it up, right? On July 4th, which classic children's book was published? Oh, I don't have the year for this. Let me see if I can find that. Ooh, okay. Oh, Alice. Well, that's when it was written. I find out when it was published. Huh? Okay, there we go. So right now we're 311 million. Okay. I knew it was just a little over 300 million, but okay, it was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland was the children's classic book. It was published on July 4th in 1866. That was a lot of years ago. All right. Who was working on So true, Miss T. It's like, what are the publishers doing open on that day? All right. In what year were fireworks first used to celebrate the 4th of July? When did they start using the fireworks? I know, Alicia, right? Just talk about an old classic. 1866. It was in 1777. Fireworks flew at the first annual 4th of July Independence Day celebration. So there you go, Alicia. Americans wasted no time in celebrating the first Independence Day on July 4th, 1777. Even though the Revolutionary War wouldn't be won until 1783, Taking a cue from John Adams' call for bonfires and illuminations, a wartime Congress adjourned in Philadelphia to light up the night with fireworks. Similar pyrotechnic celebrations were held in Boston. According to the Philadelphia Evening Post, the evening was closed with the ring of bells, and at night there was a grand exhibition of fireworks, which began and concluded with 13 rockets. That is cool. They should still do that. They'll probably have to do 50 rockets. Maybe that's why we have our grand finale or something. So the exhibition on the Commons, and the city was beautifully illuminated. Everything was conducted with the greatest order and decorum, and the face of joy and gladness was universal. In addition to the rockets, which would have been relatively crude in the 18th century, there were also raised platforms with fizzing fireworks that displayed patriotic images like the profile of George Washington. I didn't even know that they could do that back then. That's I love an open book quiz. Oh, yeah, I know that's hard for some people, Miss T. Hey, Vonnie, welcome. Happy, I was gonna say, happy 4th of July to you. I was gonna say happy Valentine's Day. I don't know where that came from. I think I'm still tired. And there was plenty of gunfire too. In addition to fireworks, military cannons and live gunfire were a big part of early 4th of July festivities. It's important to remember that the United States was at war with Great Britain on and off until 1815. So even though we declared our independence in 1776, it took, 30 more years, 40 years? So, yeah, almost 40 years to finally get rid of that oppression in that way. So, because we had the War of 1812 then and all that kind of stuff. So 4th of July celebrations would have served as military morale boosters for wearied soldiers and citizens. I can definitely see that. It's like every year, just that reminder of why are we fighting? It's like, oh yes, we have our independence from, from Britain, and we're a new country and all that kind of stuff. So I think that, yeah, I agree, Carrie, that does happen. Ear-splitting cannon blasts and artillery salutes during 4th of July continued into the mid-19th century, when leftover weaponry fell into disrepair and concern for public safety won the day, leaving only the fireworks. So there you go. Does anybody know who the author of the Pledge of Allegiance is? So we had our Declaration of Independence, then we have our Pledge of Allegiance, and then there's the Constitution too. But our Declaration of our Pledge of Allegiance. Hey, Glenn, how are you doing? Good evening to you. There you go, Patty. Francis Bellamy. I think you got your Google going. Yes, you looked it up. There you go. Francis Bellamy. There you go. During World War II now we're into the 1900s, where did the Declaration of Independence get stored? Because, we had very valid fear of, some, war on our land, and, different things happening to it. So, there are two versions, but you don't know who wrote them. Oh, okay. Very cool. Well, happy 4th to you too, Glenn. So you got it, Dave. Fort Knox. Yep. Can't get any place that's a little more secure than that, right? Fort Knox. So which country declared independence from the United States on July 4th, 1960? Did you even know that we had a country that was probably, like a possession, like Puerto Rico or something like that was one of our possessions. And they declared their independence from us on July 4th, 1960. Woo, Glenn, there you go. There you go. He got it. The Philippines. Yep. He got that. Um, so many of us celebrate the 4th of July every year with fireworks, barbecues, concerts, and parades. Growing up, you may have heard that we celebrate Independence Day on July 4th because that's the day the founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence. But that's not technically true. Although the Declaration was adopted on July 4th, it really wasn't signed by most people until a month later. So on July 2nd, 1776, the Continental Congress voted in favor of declaring independence from Great Britain. The Declaration of Independence was officially adopted 2 days later. So it was everybody voted in favor of it on July 2nd, but it was officially adopted on July 4th, marking the ringing of the Liberty Bell at Independence Hall in Philadelphia, and thus giving us our day. At the time, though, John Adams believed that July 2nd, not July 4th, would be the date remembered by history. So he said, the second day of July, 1776, will be the most memorable in the history of America. Adams wrote in a letter to his wife on July 3rd of that year. I am apt to believe that it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival. Although our Independence Day celebrations fall on a different date, today's July 4th festivities would look familiar to Adams, who called for people to celebrate that day with pomp and parade, with shoes, SHEWS, which I don't really know what those are, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations, like we talked before, from one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward forevermore. Other early July 4th traditions have not carried through to the present day. Some colonists celebrated the day by holding mock funerals for England's King George III as a way of reinforcing America's victory over the British monarchy. So, yeah, we do want to carry that one out. Shoe is, okay. Shoe is an old-fashioned spelling of shell. Thank you. So the 4th of July was celebrated annually throughout the 18th and 19th centuries. And in 1870, Congress declared the day a federal holiday in 1870. But it wasn't until 1941 that the date became a paid federal holiday for federal employees. So John Adams, again, believed that it should have been celebrated on the 2nd. So annoyed that the Independence Day wasn't celebrated on July 2nd, he reportedly turned down invitations to July 4th celebrations throughout his life. I'm like, dude, just give it a rest and just enjoy the time, right? He must have been a character to deal with. Very tough personality. So anyway, it was adopted on July 4th, okay? Was not actually signed until August. So we've got that. Three presidents have actually died on July 4th. Other than Jefferson and Adams, James Monroe was the other one who also died on July 4th. So that's really, 3 presidents out of 46 that die on the same day. That's kind of unusual. Very, very unusual. Okay, so do you know which state it was that became the first state to make the 4th of July an official state holiday in 1781? So before it became a federal holiday, this state made it an official state holiday first. Thank you for Google. Yes. Thank you, Google. Mr. Google Pants. Sometimes it's kind of hard to say Google, because like make it sound right. Massachusetts was the first state to make it an official state holiday in 1781. All right. So, another president, Zachary Taylor, he was the 12th president. He actually died. He was at a 4th of July celebration. So July 4th, he ate some spoiled fruit. It must have been really bad. It must have been a super hot day out there for a long time. But he ate some spoiled fruit. Wikipedia says he got a stomach disease, but he basically died from food poisoning. But he died 5 days later on July 9th in 1850. But gotta watch those 4th of July celebrations sometimes, right? Okay. Do you know who hosts the main fireworks, the real famous fireworks in New York City, in the show there? Just wondering if somebody knows who it might be. I'll give you a big hint. They also do the Thanksgiving Day parade. So there you go. Is the chat stuck? Nobody's writing anything. There you go, Christina. Macy's. They use more than 75,000 fireworks shells, and it costs about $6 million. That's a chunk of money. All right, back to the hot dogs. And I actually put this link in the show notes below so you guys could read it. Watch the video. It's kind of funny. Okay. Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest is held annually on July 4th. I'm sorry I didn't find out what city that's in. But and anyway, that's every year, July 4th, a hot dog eating contest. So they've had a champion, Joey Chestnut, who just this year got his 15th win for this contest for eating the most hot dogs in 10 minutes. So they have 10 minutes, and it's like, how many hot dogs with buns can you eat in 10 minutes? Well, in 2018, so 4 years ago, he ate 74 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That's like one every 8 seconds. I did the math. One every 8 seconds. In 10 minutes. So this year he won again, but he was on crutches, so that kind of slowed him down a little bit. He ate 63 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I know. So gross. It's like I'm just like, it's like you want to throw up for him. Yeah, exactly, Kiri. It's like, oh, okay. As of 2016, July 4th was the #1 holiday for beer sales in the U.S. Oh, I like this. In 1778, George Washington gave his soldiers a double ration of rum to celebrate the July 4th holiday. Good old George. He took care of his people. Right, Patty? I know. I think one is your limit. Oh, I know. With the bun, absolutely. Maybe one and a half. It would depend on, I guess, how big the hot dog and the bun is. I mean, I just like you. Miss T, that's some good information. Thank you. Okay. Now, eating salmon is a July 4th tradition in parts of New England. Dave, did you know that? Do you eat salmon on July 4th? So salmon is part of a New England tradition. Okay, small towns in the U.S. typically spend between $8,000 and $15,000 on their fireworks displays. That's a lot for a small town. $8,000 to $15,000. Oh, yeah, when you could afford it. I hear you. Not a cheap thing. So there are about 16,000 July 4th fireworks displays happening around the country every year on July 4th. 16,000 fireworks. We got 50 states, right? That's a lot. That's according to the American Pyrotechnics Association. Yes, they have their own association. All right, starting in 1818. So remember, we were at war with Britain really until about 1815. So starting in 1818, new stars and stripes were added to the American flag each July 4th to follow the creation of new states. The U.S. Flag Code offers guidelines for flying the flag on July 4th and then all the other days. So apparently there's a particular way that we could do this. Fort Vancouver had one of the largest displays in the U.S. Oh, that would be so beautiful over the river and stuff like that. Oh, that'd be so great. Let me see. The first July 4th celebration took place at the White House in 1801. At the White House now. They waited, 25 years before they did it for some reason at the White House. And it was hosted by Thomas Jefferson. So he was, talk about a patriot, right? Jefferson was really right in there. Okay. So the last thing I have is that the One World Trade Center, or originally known as the Freedom Tower. So this is the new construction after the Twin Towers went down in 2001. So it's the One World Trade Center in New York, is 1,776 feet tall, 1776. It's that tall to mark the year the U.S. declared its independence from Britain. Construction on the One World Trade Center began April 27th, 2006, and was completed August 30th, 2012. It's taller than the original World Trade Center. The building then opened in November 2014, and the observatory opened the following May. So the new World Trade Center complex will eventually include 5 high-rise office buildings built along Greenwich Street, as well as the National September 11th Memorial and Museum, located just south of One World Trade Center, where the original Twin Towers stood. So yeah, I didn't even realize. I mean, it's been a number of years since I've been down in New York, because I did go to the site of the 9/11 attacks, and so it's been, when was the last time I was there? 2005, maybe. So this construction would have begun, a year later or something. So I did not even know that they had built a whole brand new one, but it's beautiful. Yeah, I think we all can, and I don't know that we want to truly remember that today, Alicia, but yeah. But anyway, the tower is in commemoration, the height is in commemoration of our Day of Independence. So anyway, those are some history and trivia, and thanks for that. My garden tip for tonight is try to, that's okay, Alicia, I just would like to kind of, I know, I had no idea either, Patty, so it was cool. It was very cool. So, garden tip, try to dry in by dehydrating or air drying or freeze drying, whatever, but try to dry out your herbs this summer. Identify and use the weeds that might be growing around you in your garden or in your yard or wherever, that could be medicinal. So just anyway, just that's my garden tip, is to kind of focus on maybe drying some herbs, figuring out what they are, what they're good for, whether they're culinary or medicinal or something, and dry that. And then as a prep tip along with that would be to package some of those herbs, either in vacuum sealed jars or in Mylar bags. So take some for, more immediate use, and then some for long-term storage. So anyway, work on the herbs. And guess what? It is 7 o'clock Central Time here. Oh, very cool. Very cool, Patty. That's so neat. Your chives, I know. My chives have already blossomed and the seeds are drying, and I need to get them before they seed all over my garden. So, oh, I know, Patty. Yeah, that's tough. You'll have 4 trays of things to dehydrate under your ceiling fan in your dining room. You'll have to go camping. Okay, very cool. Yeah, a lot of times you just take them and hang them on a nail or a hook or something, and just let them dry. As long as your house is dry, if it's not a humid area, if you don't have AC and it's really humid out and everything, things can mold. So you just want to be careful with that. But otherwise, it is really good for them to do that. Alrighty, well, guys, it has been wonderful. Our time is already up, and thank you so much for coming, for sharing your 4th of July evening with me. And I really, really do appreciate that so much. Thank you for all your prayers and your virtual hugs, and all of your love and concern. I really appreciate it. So anyway, take care. God bless. Always have hope, and keep fighting for our independence. All right. Night, everybody.